welcome back. Today I have another account for you guys, and this is me right after the previous video. If you haven't watched it, I'm not even too sure if I wanted to tell you to watch. My brain was so fried. But anyways, today we have Jafong Thun. Jafong Thun. All right, I'm not too sure if I'm saying that right. That look like it's like Vietnamese or Mandarin, probably. No, that's probably Vietnamese. But anyways, here is his account review notes. He is from HMT. I have no clue like what exact server that is, but it is a server on Wuthering Waves. He's a light spender, maybe. All right. Skill level. Can quick swap if needed. Okay. You need to focus on Jinshi. That's what I like to see. Already a triple S account. Okay. Extra notes. I used to think trying to get S2 on DPS characters is a very good idea, but after experiencing the power creep happen in every patch, that idea became skeptical. Okay, I can already tell you right now, this is absolutely just not true. Well, at least the part where getting S2 on every DPS or every DPS you like or whatever is a bad thing. No, it's an absolutely good thing. And that character is not getting power crept by any of the upcoming characters that would come out. It just depends on really the character. Like if it's a really old one, like GN, for example, then of course an S2 GN is going to get power crept by like an S2 Carthea. I mean, that's a regular general versus like a literal like come on. So like yeah, because new release characters keep doing more damage, and I plan on getting every character with sick anyway. So I feel going for wave bands is kind of a waste. See now, I think in this type of context, if you're gonna pull for every character plus their sig anyways, going for dupes on any characters besides the ones you actually like is pointless because you're gonna get every new character anyway. The point of getting dupes on characters is either one to stop them from getting power crept or two just because they're your favorite. Literally, I would love to hear other people in the community and your opinion as well. Well, my opinion, I can tell you right now, get an S2 on. I want to say every DPS, but like the ones you really like and the ones you want to keep playing for a very long time, get an S2 or S3 on them is very much worth it, and they're definitely not going to get power crept by any of the upcoming units because majority of these S2 and S3s is just so freaking broken. I mean, look at Aemeath, look at Carthea, look at phrolova. There's so many of them. And then yeah, the power creeping stuff. I really think power creep in Wuthering Waves is only real if you're not the greatest at the game. Because the actual power creep in Wuthering Waves is just characters getting simpler and simpler to play. That's really about it. I mean, look at Carthea. Everybody thought Carthea was a very simple character to play. She pretty much is. And then you go to Aemeath. She's also a pretty simple character to play. And then you got Hiyuki, also a pretty simple character. Then you have Yang Yang, this thing right here, where one of her part of her fortes, you literally just hold the attack button. So like, yeah, but that's going to be it for his account review notes. Before we get to the rest of the account, let's get a word for today's sponsor. Are you looking to get Lynae for cheaper? With EnjoyGM, it's a safe way that lets you get in-game top-ups at a discount up to 21% off compared to the official price. The $100 pack only costs $80 here, which is an insane discount. Confused on how to top up? All you need is your UID, server region, no giving your password away. And after you do that, you're going to look over in the game, and then you should get it here in a second. Boom, there you go. The Lynae subscription has hit my account. I'm going to show you guys this is my account right here. As you see, my name, my YouTube. Better yet, by clicking my link in the description and being a new user to EnjoyGM, you get an extra 8% coupon on your first top-up bonus on any game you desire. Not only that, EnjoyGM is trusted by the PCI DSS with a 4.6 review, so you can shop safely with no problem. What are you waiting for? Use my link to hurry up and get those discounts and sweet old good pull with EnjoyGM. Okay, here we are on Jafong Dome. If I remember his name correctly, Zhafon Thom. That's a really hard name. His account name on his Wuwa though is just Rover. He has no bio either. That's absolutely essential. August 16th. All right, max level. He's been max level for quite a while now. And then if we go to his friends list, because you know we've been doing this, let's see what his friends is looking like. Well, somebody has S6 Jinshi. They are automatically triple S account. I like this person. And then for the rest, that fully chained Aemeath. Holy, okay. So he has about basically four-ish friends that still kind of play the game. The rest of them are just kind of gone. Yeah, GG's. The rest of them don't really play no more. But yeah, that is for his friends list. But yes, he is indeed account level 80. So if you want to get an account for me, you got to at least be level 65. And you could join very easily by going to my Discord right there in the link in the description. Look for the account review section. Look at the pin little part so you can find the form, and then you can sign up extremely easily for free. All right, let's look at his pulls. Pulls he has. He has 81 here. This is about 100 math. He has probably like 185 pulls. Okay, 184. I was literally one pull off. Yo, you can't tell me my math is crazy. I wasn't counting this. But that is very exceptional. My math was very close. He has 830 calls. That is very nice. Did he use? Okay, I don't know if he pulled loose here any of them. We'll see in a second. Well, he definitely. Well, at least not we can tell here. He hasn't bought a single dupe here on none of these characters. He has maxed out Encore. Oh, he has maxed out Jinchi. I think I could already tell that. I mean, his favorite character the focus still on is literally Jinchi. And then he has bought the 2 dukes for GN. So this is another thing where I was like, well, if you've got 2 dukes for GN and you have S2 Carthea, then you definitely going to feel power creep because, I mean, GN dupes is just not good. He suffers from the 1.0 characters. But yeah, that's really about it. Let's look at his monthly. He has 189 days. I don't know why I said 800. 189 days. Look at his bundle thingy. Yep, he's fully cleaned out this right here. Now let's go look at his characters. Okay, here we are on the characters. Now his Chisha. This is a decent Chisha. Her crit damage is majorly low. Oh well, she's on the heal set. Actually, never mind. This is a really good Chisha. I would say the ER could probably be kind of cooked. I mean, I have this much basically on the same thing, but I do a little bit quick swaps. It really depends if you quit swapping or not in that team. But this might be enough ER. But no dupes, no dupes. Max out traces basically. Yep, pretty good. I like this Chisha. I like this for Hill said Chisha. This is a really good Chisha. And then we have the Rebecca. Rebecca, this is a really good Rebecca. This is a really good Rebecca. I like this Rebecca. Let me see the rolls on this. That is a really good Echo. It's a pretty good Echo. This is also a pretty good Echo. This is a really good Echo. Yeah, yeah. This one I feel like you can change, but it's a 4-liner, so it's gonna be pretty hard to replace. But that is a pretty good Echo. Magneto Churches basically, and then we have no dupes, no dupes. Okay, so we have seen no dupes so far, but I'm gonna guess some of these DPS are definitely gonna have S2 since he said he does used to do that. Yang Yang, I mean Yang Yang just came out like a few days ago, probably like 4-ish days ago. So I'm not too surprised you don't have like an insane crack build on her. But this build is pretty good still because I'm pretty sure she gets like a lot of crit damage in like her like moves, like somewhere in her moves she just gets crit damage from. But yeah, and then dupes, he has no dupes on Yang Yang. Okay. Traces he's still working on. He's still working on. He's still working on. The build itself, besides the crit damage, you're pretty good. Besides the crit damage, you're pretty good. And then we have the Lucilla. This also was a pretty good Lucilla. This is a pretty good Lucilla. I like this Lucilla. Yeah, this is a pretty good Lucilla. Yep. This is a pretty good Lucilla. And then we have Lucy. Okay. Yeah, this is a really good Lucilla. So you gotta add on 15 crit rate because she's not on the field. But yeah, this is a pretty good Lucy too. This is a really good Lucy. I like this Lucy. Yeah. S1. S1 for the Weewa. Yeah. This is a good Lucy. Yeah, no actual like bad build so far. Okay, then we have the Dinya. This is also a really good Dinya. I feel like your crit damage could be higher, but you probably just load really low on like majority of your echoes. Or like you're missing one crit damage roll. Yeah, you just kind of low roll on all your you're missing one crit damage roll too. But you also load pretty low at the same time. Yeah. Yeah. So she could be having a little bit higher crit damage, but you have the nice ER, nice crit rate, and a pretty good crit damage. So like it's honestly more than enough. Definitely more than enough to clear in-game content, but no dupes, no dupes. We only seen one dupe. We seen an S1 on the Lucy. I'm gonna expect Hiyuki to have dupes here. I feel like Hiyuki's gonna have dupes here. This Hiyuki build though, this I feel like the crit damage could be higher. Her ER is kind of like whatever. Her ER is kind of like whatever. As long as you have some, then you're kind of just chilling. Yeah, okay, you rolled double crit on everything, you just got low crit damage rolls, that was really about it. Yeah. I would definitely max out these. I would definitely max out both of these. Yeah, it's worth it. It's like moves that's just like gonna hit. So like I would just level up. But no deuce on Hiyuki actually. There's no deuce on Hiyuki. Okay, but the Hiyuki build is pretty good. Just need honestly, there's not really much you can do. You roll double crit on everything, so honestly, that's just sad. But yeah, the more crit damage will be a little bit better. And then we had Sigrika. This is a pretty good Sigrika. This is a 85 crit rate Sigrika with the 150 ER. That is pretty good. That is pretty good. I like this Sigrika. I like this Sigrika. Like, if you, for example, even if you don't want to pull S2 on DPSs no more, some of the DPSs S1s to make them feel better to play will be exceptional. And Sigrika is probably like the prime example of that. Because I love Sigrika, but my God, she gets interrupted a lot. So like having her S1 would generally make her feel better to play by a lot. But we have Luke. All right. Yeah, the Luke is cooked. Non 130 ER. I mean, you running him in his premium team most likely with the Dinya, so maybe you get his ultimate. But like non 130 ER Luke, I just already feel like you're probably not getting his ultimate like at the right time. So like, yeah. And then well, the build itself, I actually feel like you could have a little bit higher crit damage, but like your ER, you just need one more ER roll. Yeah, like you could probably get rid of this piece. You could probably get a better piece here or a better piece here. Yeah. Those two pieces, you could probably try to get better pieces there for like double crit with ER. So yeah, definitely try to get double crit with ER. It's very hard to get. These two are very hard to build, and so is Brant. Those type of characters is very hard to build. But we have Aemeath. Okay, this ER is a no-no. She is not getting that ultimate on time. She is really not getting that ultimate on time. Absolutely not. S2. S2. So like this is like one of those S2 DPSs. Like if you get their S2, they're definitely not getting Powercreep. And it, especially not if you get her S3. Then she's like just definitely not getting Powercreep then. But yeah, I feel like her stats could be a little bit better though. I really feel like her stats could be a little bit better. Yeah, just kind of low, just like very low crit damage on like everything except for this one. Like, yeah, which is kind of unfortunate. But I mean, hey, you got the build. You're like, I just gotta let you know that if you ever see your Aemeath miss a crit, just know that was a 0.4% chance, which I would be very sad for you and myself because I seen that you have a 0.4% chance to miss a crit. And then we have Mornye. This is a pretty good Mornye. I think you should definitely switch to a defense forecast. I mean, it won't make an insane difference, but I would just still switch it to still switch it. S2 Mornye, yeah, these type of S2s definitely. All right, if a player doesn't want to S2 DPSs anymore, S2 on supports or just getting like S1 or S2 on the supports, depending on like what is their actual good one, then I would definitely go for it. For example, Mornye's S1 is really good. Everybody knows that Mornye's S1 is really good. Her S2 is also pretty good. It's nothing insane, but it's pretty good. If you want it, go for it. But yeah, like supports, I would definitely go for them. Like even like Dinya, Dinya has a pretty good S2. That's a pretty good one. Lucilla one is like is good, but she doesn't have enough teams to abuse her S2 in. Same thing with Dinya, pretty much. But like at least Dinya teams is pretty much set, and she can run as a DPS too if you have her. If you have her little, what's the name? If you have her good build, you have a good build on her with the S2. So yeah, like you can just run her as a DPS. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that right there. But yeah, the S2 on DPS, I mean not on DPS supports go really, really good. We have the Lynae, absolutely not. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. So it was going really good. The crit rate's kind of whatever. This ER is just a no-no. She's not getting that ultimate on time. You're getting the ultimate at the end of her rotation. That's not good. You don't want to get Lynae's ultimate at the end of rotation. She had bare minimum like 125 ER. Bare minimum 125. So yeah, definitely fix that. Definitely fix that. Cho Yan. Oh no, 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 no. Unless it's a DPS Cho Yan. Nope. All right, yeah, no. Get rid of it. So Cho Yan, you need to get him on the Moonlit. Get him on Moonlit. Get him more ER. Make his stats whatever. Honestly, only the crit rate and ER matters on him. But yeah, fix that. Fix that. And put him on 2P's Moonlit instead. Put him on TP's Moonlit instead. For the Heron being his forecast. We get Galbrina. This is a pretty good Galbrina. This is a pretty good Galbrina. Hold on. This is a, people will fight you for this. People will literally fight you for that. Yeah, this is a pretty good Galbrina. I like this Galbrina. Oh, well, you missing a crit damage roll too, but honestly, I wouldn't even stress about it. I mean, that's a 4-liner. Hey, and that's a honestly, it's 5-liner too because I don't think her ultimate is considered heavy damage, and at least not to my knowledge, not that I recall. Not that I recall. It's considered echo skill damage. So yeah, I mean, that last rule is kind of whatever. That last rule is kind of whatever. So it's just a 4-liner, but that's pretty good. No dupes, no dupes, no dupes. Okay, then we had the This is pretty good. This is a pretty good. I feel like you could have a little bit higher crit rate, but okay, yours got cooked on crit rolls. I mean, yeah, you're missing one crit roll here, but you also just like rolled like 6.9 on like every echo. All her echoes have 6.9 crit rate, so that's just like a little sad. That's like nothing you control. Yeah, and then no dupes again. No dupes again. Okay, and then we have the Augusta. Okay, so absolutely not. Yeah, just no. So this is what you do. If you really can't get like close to like, I mean, this crit rate, but like a little bit higher crit damage, then just kind of let the Augusta build go. Instead, go like crit rate 4 and try to get like 80 crit rate with like 230 crit damage. But what you currently have right now, I cannot accept this. So fix it. Fix it. Either go 80 crit rate with 230 crit damage while on a crit rate 4, or go like 75 or 70, my bad, 70 crit rate or 65 crit rate. You should never drop below 65 crit rate if you're on a crit damage 4, and then try to get like 260 to 270 crit damage. But yeah, that Augusta build, it has to go. It has to go. Phrolova. This is a 94. This is a 94 crit rate for Lova. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. Definitely max out all these. Everything should be maxed on for Loba. She does a lot of damage from literally everything. So definitely max out all of that. Lupa, this ER is fine if you're quit swapping. If you're not, you should be having more ER on your Lupa. But I also feel like she could have a little bit higher on both stats. But it looks like you got cooked again on just the double crits. Oh, and she's missing like one crit damage roll here. Yeah, you roll a lot of 6.9 crit rates. That is a little sad. That is a little sad. Yeah, I would definitely max out her intro. Definitely max this out because this right here does a lot of damage. That little second here, you see that multiplier? It's only at 500 and you have at level 6. How much higher do you think it would go? How much higher do you think it would go? So definitely max out. Definitely max our intro. And then we have Cartathea. Um, no ER on the Cartathea, but I think it might be fine. I think it might be fine. Might. Very high might. This is a pretty good Cartathea though. This is a pretty good Cartathea. And it's S2. Yeah, and it's S2. Yeah. Yeah. Like some of these DPSs, I see you like you said you S2 some DPSs and you think blah blah power creep, stuff like that. I definitely could tell you right now, the ones you S2'd, they're definitely not weaker than any of these teams right here. Like Hiyuki, new character. Yang, new character. There none of these characters right here is stronger than an S2 Aemeath in an S2 Carthea. They're just not. And the only reason if they are getting better results than both of these characters, then that is just a skill issue and not a character issue. That's not a character issue. And then we have Kachona. This is a pretty good Kachona. I like this. This is a really good Kachona. This is exactly how my Kachona will look. Yeah. ER3 costs. Yep. ER3 costs on her. Yep. Exactly. Yep. I like this Kachona. Yep. I like this Kachona. This is exactly what my Kachona would probably look like if I had her. And then we have Zenny. This is a decent Zenny. Your crit is pretty decently low. If you're running like with Spectral Rover, this is a pretty decently low crit rate. Usually when you run a build like this, you want to have at least like 50. So you're hitting like a cool 70, but you're at 67, which is yeah. That's a little too low. That's a little too low. But if you're using it with shorekeeper, it's pretty much fine. But with Zandy, you should mostly use Spectral Rover. See, I would say this is like one of the bad ones. Like Zanny S2, you definitely feel like a character is quote unquote power creeping Zanny if you pull Zanny, any dupes on Zanny, as a matter of fact, any dupes. Because Zanny dupes are like, they're good, but they're not worth it. They're just like Yang Yang. Yang Yang dupes is good, but her dupes is also not worth it because the character is already strong at base. If you just learn how to play the character, then you're going to get way higher damage than if you actually pull sequences. Now, in Phoebe's team, or in the Zanny team, I would just pull the like S2 or Phoebe. This would have gave you way more damage versus pulling Zanny's S2. Like Zanny's S2 is just not good. But since you do have Zanny S2, then this crit ratio is fine. This is a fine crit ratio. You're at like what 97 crit rate. So like it's fine. But at the same time, if for the Zanny department, if you know how to quick swap it, don't pull dupes on Zanny. Pull the dupes on Phoebe. Preferably just her S2 and like get Phoebe Sig. And then you're gonna get way higher damage than if you pulled anything else for Zanny. Even her S6. Like literally just pull Phoebe dupes. Just pull S2 Phoebe. Literally just pull S2 Phoebe. But yeah, and then we had the Kentarilla. Absolutely not. All right, I'm not even gonna look at the build. 0 ER on Kentarilla is automatic brick. Okay. Get ER on that lady. Throw her on either the this set, the Midnight Veil, or you could throw her on the Coordinator Attack set right here. One of these two. They both work. I personally like the Coordinator Attacker set a little bit better because it's more universal for her when she's not in just a Havoc team. But yeah. We have Brant. This is a decent Brant. I feel like it could be better. Yeah, it definitely could be. Oh, okay. If you had to do some Brent, it's fine. Okay, no. All right, so just get rid of the Brent build. So yeah, go double ER, go double ER. And then we have the Phoebe. Phoebe, this is a really good Phoebe build on Moonlit too. Yeah, this is a really good Phoebe build. This is a really good Phoebe build. Yeah, this is a really good Phoebe build. And then we have Roshia. All right, yeah, no. 0 ER on Roshia is also another brick. This okay, Carlotta. This is a pretty good Carlotta build. This is pretty good Carlotta build. Yeah, I like this Carlotta build. That was a very high ER roll. Holy. Yeah, this is a pretty good Carlotta build. Camellia, she's dead. Do he has dudes on her? He doesn't. Shorekeeper, S2 Shorekeeper, exceptional. This is a very worth investment, by the way. This is a very worth investment. Did you have her intro maxed out? Intro. Okay, you do. Perfect. Perfect. Yep. Good. Good Shorekeeper. Yep. Perfect. Zhang Liao. Yeah, no. Just no. All right. So first of all, get him. Oh, you have his S1. His S1's pretty decent. It's nothing insane. I would definitely not advise somebody to pull forward, but it's decent. It's definitely a damage increase. But definitely try to get bare minimum 115 ER while having better crit stats what you had. Because 65 crit is absolutely fraud, even with Shorekeeper. So aim for higher, like 70ish, 80ish if you can, around like 260 to 270 crit damage. Yeah, that would be way better. Or you can even go crit rate forecast because I'm pretty sure you have his weapon. You can even probably go crit rate forecast still and just get like 90 crit rate and then aim for like 250ish crit damage if you can. Because then you're most likely gonna run him with Storekeeper. Then you're gonna end up just getting the crit damage stats that you would have had. Yeah, but yeah, this yeah, no. That 0 on Zhangli, I was just absolutely cooked. Zhuzh. This is a pretty good Zhuzh. This is honestly a pretty good Zhuzh. This is a pretty good Zhuzh, yeah. See, I feel like some of these Zhuzh echoes you could probably give to your Kentarella. Like you give your Kentarella this, or this is a Glacial stat, my bad. You can give your Kentarella this, right? And then just get her ER, or not ER2 gauze, like some better pieces here. Like, let me see. Okay, you have none. You have none. Now, at least now that I can see right here. Yeah, I don't think you have any. If you have any Havoc, okay, do you have Havoc? Havoc. You do have some Havoc. So you could roll some. Not a lot. You don't have a lot, but you could definitely roll some. I mean, if you have some attack ones, you could also roll those too. You have some attack ones. Bro does not have any attack ones. All right. Yeah, all right. So hooked, I guess. But the Zizza build is good. The Zizza build is good. Chang Li. Ooh, this is S2 Chang Li all the way. Yeah. S2 Chang Li all the way. Unfortunately, Chang Li Duke's kind of butt. But I mean, for like crit stats, it's pretty good. But besides that, it's not an actual like real damage increase. So yeah, but this is a really good Chang Li. It's an insane Chang Li echo, by the way. Yeah, this is a pretty good Chang Li. Only thing, I mean, if you're quick swapping, you should be able to get the ultimate. Yeah, you're probably fine if you're quick swapping. You're probably fine. Yeah, you're probably fine. Or you could even, if sometimes you're not getting enough ER, you could just swap to this. You have an R5 EOG. All right. That would definitely fix all of Chang Li's ER problems if you do have any. And then we have Jinshi. Ooh, this is a pretty good Jinshi. The one Jinshi that won't get all her echoes removed. This is a really good. Okay, actually, I thought this was a 10 crit roll, but it's an attack roll. But that's still a good echo. Still good echo. Still good echo. Yeah, I like this Jinchi. I like this Jinchi. Finally, somebody not slandering my goat. Finally, not somebody's not slandering my goat. And she also still has a pretty good S6 till this day. Till this day. I was playing an S6 Jinchi like yesterday, and I did a 1 million beam on both. I was like, holy, still good to this day. Still good to today. But yeah, I like this Jinchi. I like this Jinchi. Yin Lin. This is a good Yin Lin. This is a good Yin Lin. Yeah, I like it. I would definitely max out her intro. It's like guaranteed gonna hit. Also, if you learn how to play Jinshi Yinlin, you can ask for a video from me if you want to. After you see this video, you can ask for the video. I can show you the rotation, whatever. You can learn this. I would definitely max out her basic too, because you heavy a lot. You heavy a lot. Yeah. And then GN. So we know GN's S2, and no. 0 ER on GN. We're just trolling at that point. Yeah, you do have dupes on him. That was a with his dupes, that is a pretty good GN. Since you do have the S1, it will help a little bit with the ER. So you can actually drop the ER that you need for him by a pretty good margin. So you probably only need like 115-ish, 120-ish, if possible. But yeah, or you can run that same. No, you can't run that same exact build. If you run him on a Karthia set, and you run him with the Kachona because his best team is with Kachona and then Shorekeeper. Or you can run him with the Mornye because you do have the end more that's one Mornye. Then yeah, you could run that because it's not realistically your Karthia does not need the Kachona. But if you do get the S3, that will make it even more so that she doesn't need Kachona. And you can just kind of just slot the Kachona in with the GN instead because you do have the investment for bro to go full crazy. Because his dupes are like decent. They're nothing insane, like I said if S3 Cardia versus SDGN, yeah, bro's done. But at least these dupes will indeed make him do way more damage than he would did before. So yeah, and I think that's about it. What's your dupes looking like on their force? I know I meant the standard rating characters. I know you had this. Do you have S2 Marina? Exceptional. S6 Bullying? Exceptional. Denji, you better have max loop. Okay. Genshin? Oh, we're at the same spot right now. Oh, I want her S6 so bad. Lin Yang. Okay. Actually, I have like a S5 in the game on my account. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. But I think that's gonna be it for all his characters. Yeah, and then my favorite build, favorite build. I really want to say, I think is Rebecca. This is a really good Rebecca build. Like this is an extraordinary crack Rebecca build. I'm not gonna lie. This might be my favorite build. It's either this one or the Lucy one. This Lucy one is also insane. This Lucy one's also getting her crit rate is going to be higher because she's not on battle. So like this is an insane Lucy build, and then you have a really good ER her at the same time. So this is a really good builds on both of them. Probably my favorite builds out of all your characters here. Yeah, I think they're my favorite builds out of everybody here. And then probably this PB build too. This PB build is also pretty good for a Moonlit set. But I think that's going to be it for his characters. Let's go look at his in-game and stuff like that. Okay, very nice. He still has his clears here. So TOA, we had the left tower. He used the Sigurika, absolutely slammed this over here. Very, very nice. And he has the right tower. He used Hiyuki, slammed that, overly slammed that for sure. And then we have this. He used the, yep, so he does quick swap Zanny. Yep, he does put on Zandy. I really wish instead of pulling the dupes on Zandy, you pulled those dupes on the Phoebe. Your Zandy would be doing so much more damage. And then he has this team with the S2 Mornye and then the S1 Lucy, also slamming that very, very easily. So yeah, these are some good clears, some good clears. Let's go look at his Weewa. Okay, Weewa, let's look at this. We have this one right here. Yep. We have a 5.5K on the current Weewa using the Sigrika and the Hiyuki. That's very, very exceptional. I'm pretty sure Sigrika get like a way higher score than that. I'm very confident. I'm pretty sure I seen somebody get like 5K with her. But I mean, both of these teams could get higher scores, of course. Yeah, and then we have a 5.1K right here with the Sigrika again and the Hiyuki again. That is very, very exceptional. That is very, very nice. We actually can look at a DPM because it's not open yet. Yeah, it's not open yet, so we can look at that another time. But let's go look at his open world. Okay, open world. He has 1.x fully 100% it. And then since these two are the same, we have this one a new area. He's working on it. He's working on it. He's getting there. And then we have what is this? This is 3.x. Yep, this is 3.x, so he fully 100% everything here. Exceptional. And then we had the Septimon 2.x era, yep, and yep, he fully 100% all of this. And then we had the Black Shores, also fully 100% and exceptional. Now, for my final thoughts on this account. Now, came in here with expecting a little bit more, just a tad bit more because of your account review notes, because you said, where is it? I used to think that trying to get S2 on DPS is are very good idea, but after experience of the power creep happened every patch, that idea became skeptical. Now, I think your feeling for this would have been valid if you had more S2 characters. So, at least on the DPS side, because the only S2 DPS that I can see here is literally just Aemeath, okay, which Aemeath S2 is not getting power creep by any of these. And then you have the S2 Carthea. S2 Carthea is also not getting power creep by any of these characters up here. And then you have the S6 Jinshi and S2 GN. So only way that I can feel like if you feel like these characters was getting power crept by like S2s by another character or just a baseline character is literally just the GN. Like if you pull GN S2 and then you end up getting like Carthea baseline or even just her S0 and you was like, wow, this is just so much stronger than GNs. I could see that feeling. I could see that. That would be true. That would be true. But if you came from having this S6 Jinshi and then thinking that a Carthea S0 or even S2 is the same power level as your S6 Jinshi, you're just wrong. You're absolutely wrong because S6 Jinshi is way stronger than the S2 or S0 Carthea. So I don't know how you got that feeling. Then at the same time, you don't have enough S2 DPS to even feel that. You have a few more dupes. You have the S1 Zhang Liao, and then you have the S2 Cheng Li. Now, I feel like the S2 Cheng Li, you will also feel it because arguably Cheng Li has like the worst dupes in the game. None of these actually change anything. None of these genuinely change anything. If you invest instead these dupes into like Looper or something, you would have got way more value. So like, yeah, Cheng Li is definitely probably the one you really felt it at because these dupes don't really change anything. This one changes nothing. This one gives her crit stats. Having better crit stats is not gonna genuinely change something. So yeah, that's also why I was like Jing Liao Deuce is like this one is good. It's definitely a damage increase to his ultimate and stuff, but it's not gonna be like insane. So like these characters more so just suffer of being a 1.0 character and their dupes being like that. But some of these 1.0 characters actually have good dupes. Like for example, Shorekeeper's S2. All the Camellia dupes are actually really good. Every single last one of these dupes are really good. Jinshi, her S1's really good, and then after her S1 is really just to her S6. So like yeah, S2, S3, S4, yeah, all of these are like they're good, but they're not worth it. So like it's more so S1 all the way to S6. GN, I would all of these dupes are really not nothing crazy because again, this being a crit stat dupe is not gonna really change in much. So yeah, him having an extra skill in his ultimate, well, his skill in his ultimate doesn't really do anything, or just being having an extra skill. Period. Like when you use his skill in his ultimate, it's not like it changes anything, nor does his regular skill change. So having two of it is not gonna make a difference. This attack buff does nothing. So like I could see why you feel that for some of these characters, but specifically for this one, I don't know how you felt that. I don't know how you feel that. For these other ones, I can see why. I can see why. I just feel like you chose the wrong characters. That happens all the time. Choosing the wrong characters to pull dupes for. Instead, if you chose characters like, I don't know, Camellia. If you chose like Camellia S2, S3, or something like that, and then you had the S6 Jinshi, and then you kind of just stopped there and you waited for the 2.x, then you actually started pulling dupes again. You chose another bad one here, went for Zandy's S2. This one just does not increase Zandy's damage by a lot like it should. Instead, if you pulled S2 Phoebe, you would have got more of a damage increase. But then you started making slightly right choices here. You went for the S2 Carthea. This was a right choice of a dupe. This is a right choice of a dupe. And it's not even just DPSs you could have made like better choices for. You could have made better choices for like some of your support dupes. So like, for example, instead of the S2 Cheng Li, you could have S2 Brant. But like that is of course like a hindsight thing because you know Brant was nowhere close. We didn't know who Brant was, and you probably already pulled for the S2 Cheng Li. But it's more so when you're pulling dupes, not even just in Wuthering Waves, in any of these gotcha games. you need to look at the dupes and actually see what they bring to the table. Like, what is the value of this dupe? For example, Jinshi's S1. This is a really good damage increase to her beams and her basic attacks. So, like, this is a really good dupe. But then when you go to her S2, what does this even do? This says when staying out of combat for more than 4 seconds, and then you get 50% of her beam back. This is cool, but this only works in open world. So is this a good dupe? No, it's not. Cheng-Li dupe increases her heavy damage and Cheng-Li's damage dealt and gives her interruption resistance. Does Cheng-Li get interrupted for real? No. So is this S1 good? No. Is a 10% damage increase good? No. Okay. S2, a crit buff. You really got to understand a crit buff, and that's all it is not good at all. Does it allow you to do better stats like this? Yes, but that is not a damage increase. That is not a real damage increase. So yeah, if instead it was something like this, and S2 gives you a crit buff, and it does even more stuff like this, then it would have been better. So yeah, at that point, pray for Cheng-Li. Pray she get her dupes buff. Honestly, bro, pray, because these buffs are they're just terrible. Now another good one. So this one is actually good. So this is like basically the same thing, crit buffs, and it's like whatever. It's crit buffs. Crit buffs are not good dupes. You're right. This S1, I would not tell somebody pulling S1 Camellia and stop. But this right here increases the multiplier of the direct move that she does the highest damage of. This is a good dupe. This is also the reason why Jinshi S1 is a good dupe, because it increases the multiplier of the move that she does for her actual damage. This dupe does not increase the move or the damage of her actual moves that she do for good damage, nor does this one. This is bad. Same thing with this. None of these increase the real damage of the actual moves that he does. It just gives him crit buffs, an attack buff. This is nothing. This is something you can get via stats of echoes. You shouldn't go for something that can give you something better stats via echoes. It needs to do something more than that. It needs to do something like this. It give you crit stats and then give you something more. Or it just straight up gives you insane stuff just for existing. This is good dupes. You just gotta realize what's a good dupe and what's a bad dupe and pull for it. Zanny is exactly a prime example of that too. This is actually pretty good. This is a pretty good dupe. This gives you 50% spectral frazzle. If somebody, I said spectral damage. If somebody wanted to go for an S1 Zanny just for more damage, cool. That is pretty good. But at the same time, I would just go for the S2 Phoebe. Way more. Way more. This one, crit stat plus damage multiplier, this one's just not good enough. It gives what I said for Brent, but Brent's, you see how much Brent gives? This gives barely anything. This is not worth it. You got to think about what a dupe does and how expensive these dupes are. This is worth 80 pulls. This is worth 80 pulls. Versus this is worth 80 pulls. This is worth 80 pulls. And which one do you think would be better? So just try to give more thought before pulling dupes on some of these characters. A bunch of them have really good dupes. A bunch of them have pretty bad dupes. You just got to kind of realize and look at them and actually see what they do before actually activating them or even pulling them. But after that little rant, let's give bro account a rating. Even with all that being said, in his poor decision on some of the dupes that he chose, it's still a really good account. You still have a pretty exceptional account worthy of an S plus. Yes, you have an S plus account. Yeah, you have an S plus account. Yeah, this is a pretty good account. Like, even all that, you have a lot of characters. Not only do you have a lot of characters, you have a lot of teams. So that's very good. At least when you pull for some of these dupes, you did still pull the characters and you didn't break it too hard. So yeah, just for now on, when you look at some of these characters dupes, actually look at them and see what they genuinely are bringing to the table. Actually look at that. Actually look at that. But that is going to be it for today's video. If you guys like this type of content, like, comment, subscribe, and I'm going to go eat something. It's 7:55 a.m. I'm very tired. But anyways, join my Discord. You guys can hang out with me, hang out with gacha players, hang out with non-ish gacha players that barely play gacha games, but they join anyways. Thank you. By the way, thank you. Yeah, and that is gonna be it. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm very tired. I'm gonna get me something to eat. So peace out.